Hey, welcome back to Rob's Garage Woodworking. Today I'm going to show you how to change the spark plugs and the ignition coils on this 2010 Hyundai Accent. Alright, so the first step is we're going to remove this engine cover, and these are 10 mil. And this one over here has been replaced by somebody. I don't know if there's a nut on that or not, but that's a different. There we go. All right, so we take that right off. Right here, this is going to have to be moved. I think that's also 10 millimeters. So let's pull this off. Don't lose your bolts. Oh, that one was already loose. Why is that loose? Alright, so that out of the way. Okay, there's a little dirt here, so we're going to vacuum that up. Alright, forget about vacuuming it up. We're just going to blow it out. So I could change this wire harness too. I wonder. I might need to do that. Okay, so there's a wire harness here that goes to this coupler, and it looks like that's a possibility you could change that out as well. So that might be something to look into. So let's use a screwdriver on that. So these have like a little release tab here. You have to push that in and then pull back this whole thing. So once you push that in, you just pull back the coupler. There's not a lot of space on these, so you're probably going to have to do this in a row. Be careful, don't demolish the wire harness. I'm going to push this tab in, and then I'm going to twist this with my other screwdriver. Okay, once it seems to move freely, I'm just going to give it a little twist there. Okay, because I don't want to damage the wire itself, so we're just gonna give that a little push. Okay, and the oil cap is in the way, so the oil cap gets moved. This thing, be nice if that just stayed. I'm going to push that in, pull the tab back, and just weasel it out a little bit. Okay, nice and simple. And do all four like that. Yeah, we're just going to take each one of these ignition coils out. Okay, grab all your bolts and gently lift the coil out. There's going to be some resistance because it's got like a little cover on the bottom to house your spark plug. Okay, and then we got to get the plugs out. So I'll do these one at a time to make sure there's no dirt that falls in. Alright, so you got to check the gap on the spark plug, and these are 1.1. So you're going to put your feeler gauge in, and it's going to go right to that edge. Okay, so this one is 1.1, and that fits perfectly right there. Okay, so we're going to leave that and check all the spark plugs, make sure they're all good. So we're going to use a spark plug socket. This has rubber inside, an extension, and your ratchet. And this is tightening. We want to loosen that. So let's get this all the way down there. There we go, all the way in. There, just loosen that off. Okay. Once it's loose, it should come right out. And they don't look terrible. So it should be kind of brown, and that doesn't look terrible. It's a little darker, but it's not bad. So I can't complain about that. The tip looks like it's really worn away, so that's definitely time for new plugs. Okay. All right, so you take your new spark plug, put it on here, slowly lower it down gently, find the hole, and start threading it in. Thread it in by hand all the way. Okay, now we set our torque wrench to 20 pounds. The torque spec is 15 to 20 pounds, it says. So we're just going to put this in. All right, now the hardest part is getting your socket back out. Okay, the socket quite often sticks to the plug. Okay. All right, and before you put the ignition coils in, you can use the spark plug protector. It's like an electrolytic gel or something. Anyway, so I'm going to put some on here and just in the hole. And when this goes down, it's going to hit the head of the spark plug, and it's going to protect that part. Okay, and just twist that in. And if you're wondering, because a lot of people always say, oh, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that, and it's all these wives' tales. Anyway, here's the ignition coil. This is what they came in, and it's not the same stuff as what I just put on. This is spark plug protector. Okay? So we're going to put these guys back on. All right, so the torque spec on these is 8 foot-pounds. So let's find 8 foot-pounds here. Wow. The lowest this one goes is 10. 10 foot-pounds it is. All right. Okay, done. Okay, so we're going to plug all these back in and start at this end. That is in the way. That mount is in the way on this one, so let's loosen this off. Let's see if we can get that just moved over a little bit. Okay. Lock that into place. Let's tighten that back down. There we go. Okay. That one's in. Lock that in. Okay. Each one of these tabs too, like, it has, when you opened it, it's pulled back. So push this in, push the tab in, push this in, put the lock tab in. Okay, and that's it. Those are good and tight. I'll put this rail back on here. These don't go in all that tight. Looks like somebody's already stripped them. Yeah, somebody stripped all these. Good job, guys. Now, put the cover plate back on. Make sure all the screws go into the holes. Alright, so that's a quick and easy repair. It's not difficult to do. Be careful with the threads. You don't want to over tighten these, because if you do strip them in the engine, that is a big problem. So if you don't have a torque wrench, go buy a torque wrench. They're only about 50 bucks. Learn how to use it. Learn how to, to set it up. And it's a very useful tool. You use it forever. All right, and they're not expensive. You get a big one for your wheels and some other parts of your car, and a smaller one for things in your engine. All right? Anyway, it's well worth the money. You save a bunch of money doing this yourself. You get parts for these from Rock Auto, and also from your local parts stores. You can get them from the dealer, but they'll cost you a fortune. Your local parts stores will get you the parts that you need, that are good quality and that aren't overly expensive. Okay, and you can choose what type of parts. Like I almost always use Bosch plugs. I use NGK as well, but I usually use Bosch. I don't know why, it just ends up that way. And I've always had good luck with them. And the air filters and stuff, I try to use OEM grade, like original equipment manufacturing, OEM grade parts. So the premium parts, I try to put premium parts on all the time. And they're not usually that much more expensive. So well worth it in my humble opinion. Anyway, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe. There's lots more stuff like this on my channel. I do everything DIY, from home renovations to, woodworking, auto mechanics, and just general around the house repairs that need to be done. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers.